Hello everyone, I'm here to share with you the newest and exciting news of JKS All Hair Defender Plex. Inevitable fiber damage due to a hair coloring, bleaching, ultralift colors, toners, perms, relaxers, straighteners, or any other chemical service. This is where JKS All Hair Defender Plex walks in. JKS All Hair Defender Plex is based on a new technology defending the hair during any kind of a chemical service and long-lasting repair of hair fiber. JKS All Hair Defender Plex is based on a new and exclusive molecular technology composed of a blend of active molecules. The core of this innovative technology is the molecules characterized by amino group placed at the edges of the polymer chain. This difference allows the polymer chain to assume a horseshoe shape, and this allows it to bind tightly to the hair. Moreover, the physical characteristics of the active ingredients selected allow the complex to settle on the hair and not to be eliminated with the first shampoo. This is why JKS All Hair Defender Plex is so effective. We are aware of the fact that there is other Plex products out there, and we found that the JKS and a couple others that works extremely well. The rest of them we felt like nothing but a silicone or a conditioner that leaves the hair right after one shampoo. Now I would like to show you our Plex Kit's components, starting with number one. Bond maker number one, to be mixed with all chemical services, in particular color and bleaching. It builds and enforces strong structural bonds, protects the hair from breakage, and helps protect hair damage caused by chemical treatment. It does not interfere with the chemical services undertaken. No adjustment to the original formula, processing time, application time, or developer peroxide levels. Bond reinforcer number two is applied after the chemical process. It contains high-performing actives and was developed in a creamy texture for easier application. Bond reinforcer number two stabilizes the bonds, deeply nourishes, seals the cuticle, and protects the color. It is not a conditioner. Please do use your regular conditioner right after bond reinforcer number two. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to use it effectively. We have a model, most gorgeous, and she has little roots, so we're going to cover her roots. We're going to change her end colors and put a couple of highlights so you will see the bleaching application as well. Then we're going to tone her highlights so you're going to see the application in the toners. So that will cover most of the area of coloring, bleaching, and toning. So it will answer hopefully some of your questions. We are going to use a 5 cocoa, half of the formula, and a 5N, half of the formula, for the root area on our model. And our finished result is level 5 cocoa. And we are going to add JKS All Hair Defender Plex to our formula. So for the root area, just half of the tube, which is 1 ounce, 30 ml, is enough as a color. And we're going to mix with 1 part color with a 2 part developer. So 1 ounce color with 2 ounces of developer, total of 3 ounces of mixture. In mLs, 30 ml color and 60 ml developer. Now I used quarter tube of 5N and a quarter tube of 5 cocoa. So that equals to a half a tube. Half a tube is 1 ounces. Now I'm going to mix it with 2 ounces of 15 volume developer. And now we're going to show you our new amazing manual mixer. And all you have to do is put it in here and just manually push down. And as you can see, it's already mixed. Probably about 5 to 7 pushes down, and it gives you a great quick mixture. This is a lifesaver. We don't have to use our brush to mix the color. That makes things really fun and easy. And you can purchase these mixers throughout our website or our distributors, as well as we do have 3 different color bowls and brushes that are matching colors, so you can separate the colors as you wanted to. Now is the time to add our All Hair Defender Plex. I made it simple. 1 pump is enough for root color application. What I mean by that, what we have here is 3 ounces of mixture. 1 ounce being color, 2 ounces being the developer. So it's total 3 ounces. So it is 30 ml for the color, 60 ml for the developer. Total is 90 ml in our bowl. So with JKS All Hair Defender Plex, always think 1 to 10 ratio. So if you have a 30 ml color in our mixture, then 3 to 4 ml is enough. And it's done. This is the reason why, like other brands, certain brands, that you have to actually alter your formula with your developer or peroxide. Since our product is concentrated and you don't have to add so much, then you don't have to alter your developer or peroxide nor the processing time. So may I borrow our mixer one more time, and then we're gonna go ahead and mix that into our formula. And guys, we are ready. We are ready for application. So we're gonna start our application on our model's hair on the root area. And we wanted to give you a demonstration on our bleaching powder, and as well as once we bleach it and we would like to tone it, so that way you get to see all the applications on our model. And now I'm gonna mix the JKS bleaching powder. And we're only going to use 10 volume, by the way, because JKS Italian bleaching powder, it is a phenomenal product. It's gentle, yet it lifts high levels effortlessly without any high volume developer. So in our model's case, she does have level 5 roots, and she has about level 6, 6.5 ends that faded. And we're going to use only 10 volume developer. So 10 volume will lift easily 2-3 levels, if not more. So it's not necessary to use high volume developers with the JKS bleaching powder. So I'm using a 1 scoop, since we're going to do a very few highlights on her, and we're going to use it with 10 volume developer. As you know, we don't measure the developer versus bleaching mix, because I'm a hairstylist and I'm well aware everybody likes certain consistency. So we're not going to tell you how much to mix. You know your consistency, so we let you find that and whatever you're comfortable with. Now, I did show on, as I mixed the hair coloring, that 1 pump was enough for root color application. Now, we do have smaller packages, as you know, that comes in, and little 2 to 4 application kit. It depends on the length of the hair. That's why we call it 2 to 4 application. And in this kit, there's 2 tubes. Number 1, bond maker, and bond reinforcer. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use that smaller one. Now, this is a 12 ml. So the 12 ml, how much would you put into a 1 scoop of the bleaching and the developer? Would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 drips. Is enough for 1 scoop of bleach. Now, if you, let's say, your client has more hair, you're going to do much more highlighting, you use 2 scoops, which 2 scoops normally is enough for a full highlights, then you will multiply that by 2. So you will do 10 drips of this product. Now, if this was going in your color like we did on the larger kit, was a 1 pump, then you will use 1/4 of this little number 1 tube. As you can see, we have a mark which shows the half, okay, and then you will see is a clear tube, 1/4, half, 3/4, and a full tube. Okay, so we're going to use our amazing mixer again, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how easily this mixer does. as you can see, it's mixed again. It's just an amazing mixer. This made my life so easy, you will not believe. Now, as you can see, my mixture is not too runny. It holds to my brush, but if I shake it, then it comes off my brush. So this is the normally texture that I like when I do highlights, except when I do a root bleaching with the help of JKS buffer zone that we would have added, and then that would be a little bit runnier for me. So these are personal preferences. I'm just sharing it, my humble behind the chair experience with you. And now we're going to apply the root color to our model's hair. Okay. We're almost finished applying her color. It's amazing. And what we're going to do is we're going to have our model process for about 20 minutes, and after that we're going to run the color to the ends that are almost level 6.5 to a 7, so light ends, because we want to have a nice vibrant chocolate tones in JKS as a final finish results. For the ends, amount of the hair that she has, she does have a fine texture but long hair. We're still going to do another half a tube, and then we're just going to go ahead and add only 1 pump of that 8 ounce of JKS All Hair Defender Plex. And if that was to be, you had a smaller kit like this one, then you will only add 10 drops to your 1 ounce color and a 2 ounce developer. Okay, now we are mixing our end color. As I mentioned, the model does have lighter ends, almost 2 levels lighter than our desired shade. What we are wanting to achieve is level 5 chocolate tones, as we said in the beginning. So I'm using 4 cocoa, and I'm gonna go ahead and use a half a tube. As I mentioned to you guys, for the roots, all we had to do is use a quarter of each, 5N and a 5 cocoa. Desired finish is natural 5 cocoa. Since the ends are light, 2 levels at least, 1.5 to 2 levels, I used half, which is a half tube, which is a 1 ounce, 30 ml of 4 cocoa. Now I'm going to go ahead and add red intensifier. How much red intensifier would you use? That would be a question. If you're working with the warmer colors, and if the warm colors are still in the present, I do see a lot of blue, but yet still a little bit of warmth, then I go ahead and use 2 inches of red intensifier in 1 ounce of a hair color. Now we're going to take that, and the question should be, how many ounces of developer am I going to use? And that would be 1 ounce color, so that would be 2 ounces of developer. And we said we're going to do 10 volume because we're changing her end colors just a little bit. But next time, if she comes back to me again, which I'm sure she would, and then I would go ahead and use tone and tone. It's not necessary to use 10 because her ends is not going to be as this light next time she comes in. Unless otherwise she won't come and see me for a year, then that may not be the case, we don't know. But again, normal circumstances, 4, 6, 7 weeks root color application, and its tone and tone would be just as sufficient to run to the ends. Now, this time around, as I said, we're using 4 cocoa with the red intensifier. Next time her ends is not going to be as washed out if she comes and sees me between 4 to 7 weeks. Then would I use 4 cocoa again? No. Because the ends will not be as light, and all we have to do is probably 5 cocoa on its own for last 15 minutes of color application. So in JKS hair coloring, I know we're talking about an all hair defender Plex here, but JKS hair colors with the antioxidants, the processing time is 35 minutes full. And in most cases, unless you're doing a high lift colors, and on those cases that it could go up to 45 minutes for a processing time. Creamy looking mixture in less than few seconds. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 pump of JKS All Hair Defender Plex number 1. Remember, this is all goes into the color, number 1, and number 2 is gonna go onto the hair right after the color is being washed and shampooed. So number 1. And we went ahead and go ahead and mix that as well. Now we're just gonna wait for her to process, and she got about 10 minutes left out of a 20 minutes timer that we put on. And within 10 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and apply to her ends. And once we apply to her ends, and we're gonna let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, depends on the lightness. Since her ends are too light, I'm gonna go ahead and do 15 minutes for first time. Alright, so we went ahead and applied to the ends, and I do have a little bit of remaining color, and I like to go ahead and use that as a toner for her, and since it has the same kind of depths and so forth, and it will be a beautiful natural blend. So again, since this is we're changing the color and the depth a little bit, I'm going to leave it on her ends 15 minutes. So the total processing time was 20, and 5 minutes to apply to the ends, and 15 minutes after that is total is 40. And again, normally for the ends, 10 to 12 minutes is sufficient for refreshing the end. But in this case, we're actually doing a little color correction, changing her end color, as well as there was different levels of depth, the lightness. So the ends were too light, mid-shaft was a little darker, but the roots are even more darker. So with that said, 15 minutes, and then we saved just a little bit of a color. As you can see, very little, just enough for our foils to do a little toner. And how we're going to do toner, this product already does have number 1 bond maker in it, and so I don't need to add any more. So we'll see you in 15 minutes. We're going to actually go ahead and rinse her and then do her toner, and then we're gonna show you the finished result after rinsing her, shampooing her with JKS color conscious shampoo, and then we will walk you through to next steps. We'll see you shortly. Rinse the color off the ends that after sitting for 15 minutes. Why 15 minutes? Because we were kind of adding the tone and changing her end color a little bit. After that, we rinsed it, took her foils and rinsed it, and then we went ahead and remaining color for her ends, we add JKS shampoo in it. How much? We had a very little left. I would say we only had about 10 ml left of hair coloring from her ends. So we just add 5 ml shampoo to that. Then after rinsing her hair, we went ahead and applied it where her highlights were as a toner. We left it on about 5 minutes as a toner. It's not necessary to leave it any longer unless you want to go much darker tones and so forth. So after the 5 minutes, we rinsed our hair and we went ahead and shampooed it. Then after shampooing, towel dry, and we used JKS Plex number 2 bond reinforcer, 2 pumps, applied it her medium to long hair, and let it sit for 5 minutes. If you can do 10, that would be great. And after rinsing her bond reinforcer, we use our conditioner and we were finished. Now, her hair feels phenomenal. Even so, her hair was so dry on her ends, and her hair previous color were washed out, but now I have a beautiful smooth texture and a really shiny hair color. It's beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and blow dry it and show you the finished result. And of course, thanks to JKS hair color, ends are beautiful and perfect color. And I see a beautiful shine and a very soft and smooth hair. Now I'm gonna grab JKS Italian blow dryer, and it is a phenomenal blow dryer made in Italy, 100%. And you are well aware that blow dryers that is made in Far East, they only last anywhere between 300 to 700 hours. In a beauty salon, anywhere between 6 months to a year. And ours, we give you guaranteed 2,000 hours. So you should be able to have at least 4 to 7 years of run with that wonderful blow dryer that is well balanced and well made, and it actually blows 30% more air than your average blow dryer. So your client's hair, you will be able to blow dry them 30% faster. So your clients will be happy, they're heading home, and you're happy because you can get to your next client, or if you had to run an errand, so forth. So let me grab my blow dryer and I'm gonna be coming back.
You comfort me, and if I falter, would you make me believe?
Well, now that we finished the blow drying, I didn't use any styling product, just because I want my models to touch and feel, because she knows her hair real well, and I want her to touch and feel and tell me if she can tell the difference. So, Christy, could you go ahead and touch and feel your hair for me? How does it feel?
Oh, wow, it feels great. It's so soft.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But yet, as you guys can see, it's soft, but yet we do have a nice body to it, right? Awesome. So, well, thank you very much. It made a big difference. And again, Christy's hair is natural curly, so you can imagine it requires a lot of moisture and all the pampering. And her previous coloring, you know, they were fading. I have a very good feeling that they were using a color that had the highest ammonia levels. Now, maybe I forgot to mention JKS is only 0.5% per tube on ammonia levels. I would say about 5 to 7 times less than most of the major brands. So as you all can agree, the ammonia is the stress factor when you're doing a color. So JKS hair colors are 5 to 7 times less stress to the hair. So we're going to improve her hair. This is our very first time doing her hair color, and I have a very good feeling that you know, as we continue using JKS color, as she continue using JKS shampoos and conditioners, and after her next hair coloring, she's going to even feel even much better difference, and then she will not exchange us for anything else. So I'm going to use a JKS Glam Spray, very light hold spray. More you spray, more hold you get. And we love touchable hair. And this has a very little moisture. Most of the brands have a lot of moisture and alcohol, so it makes the hair a little sticky. So this one is a really awesome light spray. So it's just a light spray to kind of blend her hair and make things look really pretty. I love your highlights, Christy. Looks really good. And again, our next hair coloring service is going to be even better, just because, like I mentioned, you know, it's hard to fix abused plant in one shot. You know, I see the hair sometimes like a plant, right? You can't just take the bunch of yellow leaves and turn it into a green. But, you know, we made a difference. Color looks good, color looks shiny, and the customer touches and feels, sees the difference. She's very content. I'm gonna be content more that she would use JKS products, and she continued to use JKS hair color and all hair defender Plex. So, Christy, thank you very much for your coming. And now I'm going to go over on the screen some of those application notes. And you may want to take a little notes on that. And they are simple, easy to follow by all means, but you know, it would be fun to share. It would be fair to share with you, and then we'll put some Q&As in there for you as well. And thank you very much, and we'll see you very shortly for the final.
If I feel sad, would you comfort me? And if I falter, would you make me believe? I wish it stood still. Would you take me in your arms? Would you push the other way? For that's all I've ever known, and I can't face that day again. Would you recognize the need in me? Or will you understand that it's just a weakness in who I am? Would you take me in your arms? Would you push the other way? For that's all I've ever known, and I can't face that day again. Would you recognize the need in me? Or will you understand that it's just a weakness in who I am?
Now I would like to go over with you all the chemical services and our suggested easy to follow applications. Hair coloring service. Mix hair color with the proper amount and volume of a peroxide and a developer following your usual system and habits. Once the hair color is properly mixed into the bowl, add 1 ml of JKS All Hair Defender Plex number 1 for every 10 ml of hair color, plus peroxide and developer. Apply hair color and leave it on as usual. Rinse off carefully and shampoo. On damp hair, apply the proper amount of JKS All Hair Defender Plex number 2, depending on the hair length, and leave it on for a minimum of 5 to 10 minutes. Rinse off, then apply your conditioner as usual. After rinsing off your conditioner, blow dry as usual. Bleaching services. Bleaching powder in any bleaching service. Bleaching, highlights, balayage, or other bleaching techniques. Mix bleaching powder with correct peroxide or developer as usual. Once the bleaching powder is properly mixed into the bowl, add 1 ml of JKS All Hair Defender Plex number 1 to every 10 gram of bleaching powder. Apply the mixture and leave it on as usual. Rinse it off carefully, shampoo the hair, and then towel dry. On damp hair, apply the proper amount of JKS All Hair Defender Plex number 2, depending on the hair length, and leave it on for minimum to 5 to 10 minutes. Rinse it off and apply your conditioner as usual. Perms. Follow a regular perm application process and rinse off the perm carefully. Apply the neutralizer and leave it on for necessary time. Remove the rods and towel dry well. For medium to long hair, apply 12 ml of JKS All Hair Defender Plex number 1 from roots to the end and leave it on 10 minutes. Apply 15 ml JKS All Hair Defender Plex number 2 without rinsing from roots to the end and leave it on 5 to 10 minutes. Rinse it off and style as usual. Chemical straighteners. Directions for chemical straightener system. Mix 6 ml of JKS All Hair Defender Plex number 1 every 50 ml of straightening cream. Apply as usual and rinse off carefully. Apply the necessary amount of neutralizer as directed on your chemical straightener. Leave it on, then rinse it off carefully. Evenly apply the proper amount of JKS All Hair Defender Plex number 2, depending on the hair length, and leave it on for a minimum 5 to 10 minutes. Rinse it off carefully and style it as usual. For the clients that you would like to do a strengthening treatment, JKS All Hair Defender Plex used as a professional intensive strengthening treatment without the chemical treatments significantly reduces the hair breakage, restores the hair natural structure, and seals the cuticle. Hair is stronger, shiny, and flexible. After a shampoo, towel dry the hair. Mix 6 ml of JKS All Hair Defender Plex number 1 with 6 ml JKS All Hair Defender Plex number 2. Apply from roots to the ends on a damp hair and place under the heat source if necessary for 5 to 10 minutes. In most cases, heat is not necessary. Rinse it off carefully. Proceed with the second application of JKS All Hair Defender Plex number 2 from roots to the ends. Comb through and leave it on 5 to 10 minutes. Rinse it off and apply your regular conditioner as usual. Rinse it off and blow dry as usual.